New rules for short-term rentals. BC is responding to growing housing challenge by taking action to regulate short-term rentals and return homes back to the long-term rental market. Data shows that short-term rentals are diverting thousands of long-term rentals onto the short-term market in BC, taking away homes that people need. The number of short-term rentals is growing, and this includes Airbnb, VRBO, Expedia, and Flipkey. And this expanded rapidly over the recent years in BC and all over the world. BC is facing a housing crisis with a shortage of all forms of attainable housing, including long-term rentals. The rise of short rentals of entire homes is taking away much-needed homes for British Columbians. More than 16,000 entire homes are being used as a short-term rentals for the majority of the year in BC. This is taking away from the affordable long-term rentals. So the purpose of the new rules is give local governments stronger tools to enforce short-term rental bylaws, return short-term rental units to the long-term rental market, and establish a new provincial role in the regulation of the short-term rentals. The new rules will apply to all the short-term rentals being offered to the open public, and this is including the Airbnb, VRBO, Expedia, Flipkey, and also any posting on Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, Craigslist, and offers on classified ads and in newspapers. And the new rules will not apply to reserve lands, First Nation lands, unless they decide to opt in, and hotels and motels. Increase in fines. It will be from $2,000 all the way up to $50,000. Display of a business license. In areas where a business license is required, short-term rentals hosts will be required to display a valid business license number on their listings. Platform accountability. If a listing does not include a valid business license, where the business license is required by a local government, the short-term rental platform, either Airbnb or other ones, must remove the listing at the request of the local government. Local governments have been challenged with getting the data that they need for enforcing the bylaws. Under the new rules, the short-term rentals platforms will be required to share information about the short-term listings with the province, and the province then can share this information with the local governments. Principal residence requirement. The province is implementing a provincial principal residence requirement, which will limit a short-term rentals to, number one, the host principal resident, plus number two as a secondary suite or accessory dwelling unit. The principal residence requirement will apply provincial-wide in municipality with population of 10,000 and over. The future regulations are anticipated to set out areas or types of accommodation that will be exempt from the principal residence requirement, including the 14 resorts municipalities, most municipalities under 10,000 of population, regional district electoral areas, and mountain resorts areas and designated resort regions. Changes to legal non-confirming use protections. Effective May 1st, 2024, protections for non-confirming use property will no longer apply to short-term rentals. In some areas, these protections have historically allowed hosts to continue to use their property for short-term rentals, even when it was against the new rules set by the local government. Also effective May 1st, 2024, the new provincial principal residence requirement will come into effect. This means that regardless of the zoning bylaws, the principal resident requirement will apply. The province will establish a short-term rental registry. This will help ensure that the short-term rental hosts and platforms are following the rules and provide local governments and the province with the information that is needed to follow up when they don't comply and provide all the information. Hosts will be required to include a provincial registration number on their listings. They will also have to include their business license number if business license is required by the local government. platforms will be required to validate the registration number on hosts' listings. In order to ensure that rules are being followed, the province will establish a provincial compliance and enforcement unit. This unit will track compliance, issue orders, and administer all the penalties for violations. And when this all going to be in effect? Well, it's going to be May 1st, 2024, and that is when the principal residence requirement will be in place. And in summer of next year, 2024, will be the data sharing between the platforms and the provincial government. And late in 2024, the provincial registry will start requiring the platforms to remove all the listings without a valid provincial registry numbers. So these are all the changes with the new rules for short-term rentals. And just to summarize this, the fines are getting higher. Obviously, you're not able to rent out a unit unless it's your primary residence or you're exempt.